Welcome back to America Decides here at day 2 of the Republican National Convention. Fact: FBI crime statistics show crime is down, and that's also what statistics in major American cities show. But how do actual voters feel about crime itself? CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins us now. Answer that question for us, Anthony.
How you doing, Major? Great to talk to you. And here's the thing. Is crime a factor in people's vote? Yeah, for a majority of people, it is. In fact, for a majority, it's a major factor. Having said that, one of the things, as we explain to people, contextualize why you're going to see this conversation tonight, for Republicans, it's even more so. It's 3/4 of Republicans that say crime is a major factor in their vote. And look, a lot of this is going to happen with your favorite candidate, but Republicans do feel that if Donald Trump gets elected, that crime rate will go down, or at least further down, to your point.
The presidency. He is the perfect candidate.
Anthony Salvanto in New York, thank you so very much. I want to continue this conversation by bringing in our CBS News immigration and politics reporter, Camilo Montoya Galvez. Because, Camilo, as you well know, for Republicans and for former President Trump, one of the prisms by which their voters and the former president view crime is through migrants crossing the border. Explain to our audience what the facts are, what do we know?
That's right. Well, as you know, former President Trump is yet again making immigration a major pillar to his presidential campaign and his bid to return to the White House. And there have been record numbers of migrant crossings along the U.S.-Mexico border under the Biden administration. That is true about 8 million migrant encounters. That is a fact. But not every single one of those encounters equals an individual migrant, Major, because many of these migrants are crossing the border multiple times illegally and are being counted multiple times on those tallies. It is also important to underscore that not every migrant who is processed is allowed to stay. The Biden administration has actually, unbeknownst to a lot of people, carried out over 4 million deportations, expulsions, and returns of migrants. So half of those encounters have actually resulted in migrants being kicked out of the U.S., but it is still a major issue. We have seen a recent decrease, a sharp decrease in illegal crossing since President Biden made most migrants ineligible for asylum under that executive action. And since then, we have seen Republicans pivot to another immigration concern, and that is of crime, tying immigration and crime into one issue politically. They are highlighting some heinous crimes, committed by undocumented immigrants here in the U.S.
But statistics show, if I understand this correct, Camilo, over and over, and this is something that I've told that analysts agree across the board, Republicans and Democrats who look at this ideologically, that migrants commit fewer crimes than Native Americans across the board.
The data is not very comprehensive on this question, Major, but the analyses that are available do not show that migrants are committing crimes at a higher rate than native-born American citizens. In fact, Border Patrol data actually shows that criminals make up a very tiny fraction of the people who are processed crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. And anecdotally, I can tell you that most of the migrants I've met here in the U.S. and across the border are people who are fleeing desperate circumstances, whether it's poverty, whether it's violence. They may not qualify for asylum, but they're certainly not criminals or terrorists.
Camilo Montoya Galvez, thank you so much for those facts, that perspective, as always.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back for you once again.